hip-hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam and riding passenger side. And you heard it.
Not the average artist, you know? So,
Right.
you know, I point out the discrepancies, try to go back to the label, try to rectify the issues, you know?
Right. Now, one of the issues that you uncovered, according to my research, was an issue with Big Pun, Fat Joe, and Jellybean situation. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what you found in your findings looking over his contract and his publishing information?
Well, I mean, you know, I guess from the time of Pun's death, I guess the wife was, you know, trying to go public and tell people that she wasn't, you know, getting her money. Come to find out, Jellybean Benitez, I don't know if you know him, but he was popular in the 80s from disco and what have you. But he was playing with the royalty statements. He was deceiving Liza, you know, letting her think that she was unrecouped at certain points when she wasn't. You know, she's an estate, she's an inheritor. You know, all she knows is that her husband was making money in the business at one time. She doesn't know what to look for when the statements come. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, obviously the opposition knows that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if that's obvious, but yeah, I would think that's kind of obvious. He would size her up knowing that she doesn't know, you know, what read, you know. And they were taking advantage of her for years over that, you know. She went and got some lawyers that looked into it. They didn't know what to find. Another lawyer that's real popular reached out to her. Don't want to say his name, but he's like, if I say his name, you'll say, oh shit, you know, he's that popular. He thought he could handle it. He couldn't find anything either. And I got it with her through a mutual friend. She was in the homeless shelter at the time with her family. I don't even like saying that part, but I got it, I guess.
Yeah.
She gave me a shot, to make a long story short, and I found the issue. You know, I found it, honestly, it's not to brag, but between 3-4 lawyers having that issue for like 10 years, 11 years, looking at those statements or whatever they were looking at, telling her like, you got nothing here. When I got the same statements they got, it probably took me like 2 minutes, a minute and a half to find the issue.
Wow. Now, what was the what exactly did you find? What would you say like the dollar amount was?
No, it wasn't really the dollar. I mean, they had her unrecouped maybe like $400,000 at the time.
Okay.
By the time I approached the scene or something like that, I really can't remember. It was 6 figures or something like that. I just knew. I mean, to go back, I grew up with Sugar Hill Records. They weren't the most honest label when it came to making statements. You know what I'm saying? So I already was aware and was educated on how they made statements. You see what I'm saying? So kind of like from their handbook, say, I saw how like the deceptions and how Jellybean was making his statements too.
Wow.
Right? So, you know, I was able to find it real fast. And you know, I went and got a lawyer, auditor. We brought it to court. When discovery came, I was able to find the other pieces of what Jellybean wasn't showing, to put the pieces of the puzzle together, you know, to make a whole line from the year 2000 or inception all the way to 2016 at that time. And we were able to find a lot of other issues in the discovery. And, you know, we were able to approach in court to show that when he really had the statement down to like 60,000, he jumped it up to like 400,000 or 300,000 just to keep her, you know, in heavy recoup. So he'd have more years to manipulate her money. You know what I'm saying? So the auditor found over $2 million, 2.3 or something like that. It could have been more because Jellybean didn't give in all the discovery.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it could have been even more, you know, per se. But I would say, you know, just from the leverage that we had in court, from what we were finding, you know, the opposition had to go into mediation and work it out, so it didn't get to another day in court, because the judge was starting to notice, because when we first came into court, the judge, it was complex, so the judge really couldn't see and really understand the complexities of what was going on. Honestly, it took about 1.5 years into the court case to the last time we were in court. I think it was March 2016 when he started to really notice the issue. Like, wait a minute now. Like, wait, I see what's going on, And the opposition saw that he started getting educated on the situation, so they went to mediation, worked it out behind the scenes. Liza got her publishing back because we found a lot of stuff,
Wow.
I think they signed off on the mediation, signed off maybe like September 2016 or fall 2016. She got her rights back, and now she got her publishing, like she has it now,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a real dirty game, and obviously you were in it during a real dirty time in the 90s and things like that. And it seems like a lot of lawyers are in cahoots. Having somebody in holding up for 11, 12 years, you must be in somebody's back pocket to be able to do that if you could find it in 2 minutes. Would you say that? Is that fair to say?
No, I would say it's not necessarily true, because a lot of lawyers use me to find what's in the statements.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would more use a lawyer to take the evidence so he can, use his litigation skills in court. Just because he's a lawyer doesn't mean he knows how to read statements. I think some people think these lawyers are God too much. It kind of pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really. I don't know, man. Even like these rappers, I don't know. I wouldn't rely on a lawyer so much. I just wouldn't. And that's due to the lack of the artists and writers and producers' education. You know what I'm saying? They just think these lawyers, could walk on water. And that's not really the case.
Now, what is Fat Joe playing this whole situation? Because what side is he on? Because there's been rumors about him, withholding money. Was he tied up in that whole thing with Jellybean and Big Pun as well?
Oh, Fat Joe was Big Pun's partner.
Right.
So, he discovered Big Pun. They worked out a partnership 50-50. Pun agreed to it. These guys is young. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it before.
Yeah.
I've seen worse. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. They do the 50-50. I guess Joe goes to Jellybean. He needs a publisher. Jellybean gives them in advance. Jellybean buys into the copyright. He gets 25%. Now they got 75% to split. Joe and Jellybean. Joe and Pun, 37.5 each. And that's how they were moving on the business. Now what it is that it's just that they chose the wrong publisher. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Joe had the intent, knowing that he was going to deal with Jellybean and that this guy was a ripoff artist. You know what I'm saying? Who would want to enter into that? He didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Come to find out in court, Joe said he wasn't getting paid either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Jellybean's just playing games. Madonna sued Jellybean. Spirit One Music Publishing sued Jellybean probably for like 10 million back in like 2010 because he was playing with her money, and that's his ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And my old lawyer Wallace Collins settled that case. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people know the pattern of this guy. There's other people that I consult for that got out of publishing deals with Jellybean also. You know what I'm saying? For bad accounting.
Right.
So it looks like he's taking from Peter to pay Paul. I don't know, but he's not. I get other calls. I got another 4 people that you all know of that are calling me about I'm not getting paid from Jellybean either.
Wow.
I just know somebody last week a lawyer called me last week saying that they're in the process of settling with him right now.
Now, Liza, Big Pun's wife at the time. Was her anger kind of misplaced? Would you say?
Absolutely.
Fat Joe?
Absolutely. I mean, I honestly think that there's certain people in the hip hop business that owe her an apology. You know what I'm saying? You know, just for shutting her voice down. You know, and making her trying to make her look stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, she's definitely owed an apology. I don't think anybody's gonna apologize to her enough. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people got the Trump effect. You know what I'm saying? Where there's more emotion into it than being right about a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you know, no one's gonna. People are too emotionally tied to the other side that they're not gonna come out their chest and be like, oh, like yo, like I'm my bad and all this other stuff. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? That's I don't see it. And there's people that have been known. There's people that have been known for 4 years. I mean, the case has been settled for 4 years. It's been public in the news, all sorts of stuff for 4 years. There's no phone call. It's not coming. You know what I'm saying?
How does it do like?
I'm not even talking about Joe. I'm not even talking about Joe. I'm just talking about in general. Just
Right.
other people. There's radio people. There's all sorts of label people. There's all sorts of other people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. How does it do like Jellybean continue to get work if he's done such bad business with other artists? That doesn't get like word of mouth don't spread on something like that?
Say that again.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I said, how does it do like Jellybean continue to gain business and be able to screw a lot of these artists over continuously throughout years and not get like held accountable for it? How does he continue to get big?
I mean, for one, they get into the deal because a lot of these guys are a sucker for the advance. You know what I'm saying? Hard to resist that, some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. So, you know what I'm saying? So once they fed the beast, that's it on that end. And I mean, a lot of the Jellybean stuff was quiet for a while. I mean, it's still somewhat quiet, you know? I mean, and some people think that he won't screw them over. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's pretty silly, you know? I can't explain it, but it's getting louder, you know what I'm saying? And it deserves to be louder, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people that were homeless over the situation. That's maybe the greatest extreme that I've seen so far, you know what I'm saying? But that's a bad result, you know what I'm saying? Right there, that alone should, you know. But I don't know if he's actually signing up more people. He might just have a bunch of old writers, you know what I'm saying, that he still has in his catalog. You know what I'm saying? And he's taking advantage of those people. I think there's enough people that know not to mess with him now. But he got so much catalog from in the past. Mind you, this guy got what song does he have? And he's savvy in court too, so don't sleep on him. So like, I'm not gonna say you guys, but the average person, you might not beat him in court. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might, because you didn't stack your evidence right, things like that. I mean, I know a lot of publishers like that. Just because they stole from you doesn't mean you're going to beat them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, some of us are on a high level with this stuff. Like, you guys ain't going to beat me if I do something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Now let's break down Styles P.